Always remember.
Happy Monday. What's going on? Welcome back to Determined Focus. This is episode 22. It's already been 22 episodes.
That's crazy.
Star Wars podcast where we do indeed yap about Star Wars. Thank you for being here. Thank you for viewing this. There's merch in the store if you would like. If you have not already, because we've only been live for literally a minute and 30 seconds, please like this video and subscribe if you are not already. Go follow Grayson on Instagram. Grayson, we have not a ton to talk about today, but we do have three big topics, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main things are, Star Wars didn't have a huge presence at San Diego Comic-Con, but there was the two main things that we saw, and a little bit of the George Lucas museum information. Nothing crazy there, but some cool announcements nonetheless. But and then of course our heavy hitting topic of the Acolyte, a full year later after its conclusion. It's been a couple weeks, I think, since the 1 year mark, but roughly give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a fun little weekend. It was also, it's Fantastic Four release weekend, and so that's kind of been on the brain, right? But
briefly, Fantastic Four was very good.
Mm-hmm.
It was extremely good. Grayson, I know you had.
Hey,
can you
say the thing?
The thing? Here's the thing.
And
I'm leaving. Gonna get me.
Say it.
Wait, I gotta be in.
Fantastic.
Who was it? I don't even remember.
You said something about
it's good. It's fantastic. It's good.
It was really good. I liked it more. Oh,
yes, yep. That's what I was gonna say. You were saying what I'm about to say.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say I think I like it more than like most people on the planet. like I think people like it, but like I think and obviously the easiest thing to compare it to recently was Superman. I'm a huge Superman guy. I would say I am a bigger Superman fan than I am a Fantastic Four fan. Although when it comes to Marvel, the two or three things that I was always big being raised with those properties was in Marvel was Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and Hulk. Those were kind of the main things for me. Like for people that like grew up on X-Men and stuff, Fantastic Four was that group for me. Like that was like I liked them more than the Avengers. So I have a very soft spot for the Fantastic Four, and I mean I think they nailed it, dude. I like the and I can nitpick some stuff, but like I mean I gave it a 9 out of 10. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Like I loved it. I loved it.
It was really good. I think I don't have many problems with it. There was some CGI stuff where I was just like, wow, that really took me out of it.
Like the baby.
Like the baby. When Sue is giving the speech, there's one shot where it just like pulls back and it looks like a GTA lobby that she's standing in front of. But like other than that, and then I would have loved to see, and this isn't even really a criticism, this is more of just a desire. As somebody who is a huge Ben Grimm fan, I wish we got more Ben.
Yeah, like I can see that. For me, I think like Johnny and Sue were like the big highlights when it came to like powers and on screen, and I'm a big Johnny Storm guy. But I think, when it came to like the usage and like powers department, definitely been, and even Reed a little bit, like didn't get to flex his powers a ton, but we're gonna see him again next year, so it's
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, we're seeing everybody next year.
We're
dude,
seeing so many people, and we also have no idea how it's even going to work. Like that post-credit scene is the only news, the only thing that we have for, other than the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, is the only thing we have for anything moving forward. And I'm not going to explain the post-credit scenes if you have not seen them, but obviously it's the MCU, so it sets up the next thing. It does indeed set it up, but in such a subtle and minuscule way that it's just like, oh, all right, that's literally no information. So we truly have there is like nothing to use to speculate on at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one in Thunderbolts was a little bit more substantial when it came to like, because I thought we were going to get answers to that one in this movie. We kind of didn't, not yet. And dude, you know what's crazy? In terms of the like Marvel, just straight up Marvel in general, the next movie we don't get is Spider-Man Brand New Day, baby. Let's go. But it's not for another year.
That's before Avengers or Doomsday?
Doomsday got pushed back to December.
Whoa.
So next up in the nerd fandom of things, when it comes to the big screen, Mando and Grogu.
Yeah, dude.
Supergirl is early July, Spider-Man is late July, and Avengers is December of next year.
Wow, next year is gonna be jam-packed, dude. Mando and Grogu, Maul Shadow Lord, Ahsoka season 2, Supergirl. Doesn't Lanterns come out next year too?
Yes, yeah, apparently so, yeah.
That's a lot.
Speaking of Ahsoka season 2 and Maul Shadow Lord, I feel like that's the perfect segue. We got just the tiniest little screen grab, snapshots of. Okay, let's just talk about the big one. The GOAT, Ezra Bridger, ripped straight out of. Dude, like, you don't really. We all knew Amon looked like Ezra, even when you see him with the beard and everything in season 1. But to see him in that rebel outfit, his hair is kind of it's a little shorter, but kind of close to the length of what it was in season 1 and 2, right? In the animation, his face down to the scars and the blue eyes. I mean, the clean. I'm like it's crazy. It's like they made the animation based off of him.
Yes. It's like they saw him first and then made Ezra.
Yeah. And it's just baffling. He's in a sick jacket. He's with the New Republic. Gosh, dude. I just there's so much excitement for season 2. Like, and we're coming up also on the 2-year mark of Ahsoka season 1, which we absolutely will be talking about. Honestly, if what we've kind of tentatively planned for people is doing kind of a week by week, a little bit like, go along with us, rewatch it with us. And we talk a little bit about each episode, 2 years in advance leading up to Ahsoka season 2. But like, gosh, man, the excitement I have for that show, it's just through the roof.
That is like when Ahsoka season 1 was coming out, my excitement was like, I think I was more excited for that than seeing Star Wars back in theaters for any of the sequels. And that's not like a sequels thing. That's like that's more of like, oh, this is cool. It's a new story, but like, and it's new characters and stuff. And obviously Luke and Han and Leia are back, and I'll cry if I hear the Force theme on a commercial for a Super Bowl or something. But like when it comes to Ahsoka, like that's so much of how I view like the parts of my fandom that I hold like closest to my chest when it comes to Star Wars. And look, I don't have a problem with any Star Wars, but like Ahsoka, seeing a live action Ahsoka after what we got for Mando season 2 and Book of Boba Fett with the Rebels crew back, new characters, Thrawn, like the hype I had for Ahsoka season 1 was unmatched. And when they start releasing stuff for Ahsoka season 2, like this, dude, I am going to be, and I already am, but I just know once we're in that like rollout marketing period for Ahsoka season 2, other than Amon posting lightsaber videos on Instagram, which, hey man, keep doing that. But because it's sick, because that Ahsoka hoodie you're wearing, I don't know if it's for season 2, but it's sick and I want it.
All
but
the
like
crew merch.
Yes, dude. But all like the rollout process for Ahsoka season 2, I am, and also Maul Shadow Lord, but like I am feeding for, dude.
Yeah, for me, it was I was already a Mando fan. You know, specifically like Mando season 2. It just was people. There's some people that dog on that season because it being like have a lot of extraneous characters, but for me, it fits. Like I enjoy that aspect. I think it ups the ante.
2?
Yeah, they're like they like people call it like a cameo fest or something.
Oh my
gosh. Because you're like, oh, Boba Fett's in it, and Bo-Katan's in it, and Luke Skywalker, and Ahsoka, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, but they're characters that make sense. He's a Mandalorian. He's trying to find a Jedi. Okay, well, Bo-Katan's out there, bro. He has the Darksaber. Yeah, or like the Darksaber's out. Yeah, there's not much. Boba Fett is already looking for that armor. It was set up in season 1, and then Ahsoka, like that episode with Ahsoka is, that's your favorite episode of Man. I'm getting completely off topic, but what I will say is I grew up in an era where my favorite era of Star Wars was post Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
It was that 10 years, and this is someone I didn't grow up reading the Thrawn trilogy. I only just read that for the first time this past year for Tales, and I loved it. But I grew up with Jedi Outcast and Dark Forces 2 and Mysteries of the Sith, and those were all games that took place within that 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And so the idea for me of what I loved about Star Wars was was Dark Jedi, was remnant stormtroopers, and fringe type Jedi that aren't wearing the robes. They sometimes carry a blaster, right? They're in the rebellion kind of New Republic stuff. And Ahsoka, and I'm also a huge Rebels fan, right?
Yeah.
So Ahsoka was just that. It was, hey, here's this already amazing top 3 Star Wars character of all time. It's her own show. Oh, it's also set after Return of the Jedi, Grayson's favorite era. Oh, also there's 2 Dark Jedi. Oh, they're working with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Oh, and it's also basically Rebel season 5.
Yeah.
They were just like, here's all the hooks sunk into me, and then we're just yanking them in. Yep. I was like, and so now with Ahsoka season 2, already all of that is already set up, and those characters are going to continue to be explored, and it's the floodgates are going to open. And my username is Mortis FM. So now already at the very end of the show, I'm like, you just when I thought I was already fully 100% in, and now I'm 200% in, right? And so this one little image of Amon as Ezra, Dave spoke a little bit about the kind of general plot of the kind of the 2 main plots happening in Ahsoka season 2. I can't wait. This picture is just crisp.
Every time I think of Ahsoka season 2, I think of the soundbite from Dave where he's like, "There will be a war in our stars." I say it all the time.
Yes.
Do we know if Ahsoka or Maul Shadow Lord is going to come out first?
I don't think we know.
Yeah.
My gut reaction is probably Ahsoka.
That's what I was thinking.
I feel like Maul almost feels like a back half of next year sort of thing, and Ahsoka feels almost like a spring to early summer.
Yeah.
But then again, they also like to do animation in the early half of the year.
Yeah.
Bad Batch, all of those seasons were kind of spring, summer. I think season 1 was kind of more from April to July-ish.
Yeah.
Season 2 was roughly, that was more I think that was a little bit early. That was January into March. And then season 3 was kind of an in-between there, leading up to May 4th, right? Because I think the finale was right before May 4th, right? So if they're trying to keep that schedule, then maybe Shadow Lord will be in the front half. But I also don't know how long they've actively been animating stuff, because that's the main thing. Is animation takes longer than filming. Yes, CG takes a long time, and I imagine Ahsoka season 2 will probably have an even better and bigger scope when it comes to visual effects. But they're still in the middle of filming, so it's a thing where that they might end up being hey, that's also going to be in the back half of the year. So I think those are going to be their. Well, then you got Mando earlier in the year too. So
that's what I was going to say. I was thinking of where Mando is. I'm I don't think Mando would be sandwiched between Ahsoka and Shadow Lord.
No, but when is the official date for Mando Grogu? Is it like May 25th or something?
like that, yeah.
Because it's like late May. But here's the thing is like here's the thing is if there's nothing before Mando and Grogu, and maybe that's what they're planning on
May
doing.
22nd.
May 22nd. Okay. The only upcoming thing is Vision Season 3. And then they won't have anything until the Mando movie. That seems a little... Okay. The animation department and Lucasfilm, they really like to announce when these animated shows are dropping pretty close to when they come out.
Absolutely.
Like Bad Batch got announced, and I feel like within a couple months it was out. Season 2 was like, oh, here it is. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. And then Season 3, I remember you and I were friends at that time, and it was like, they kind of like announced it, and then it was like, by the way, next month. And we were like, huh? Wow. I remember talking to Connor and Seth, and they had their whole show planned for like the foreseeable months post Ahsoka. And then they announced that, and they were like, well, that's all out the window. We're talking about Bad Batch, So never let them know your next move, I guess.
I think something that's good, though, is I would assume, it would be crazy if Ahsoka came out earlier in the year. Because, and I say earlier in the year, before Mando and Grogu, because if Mando and Grogu is May 22nd, I cannot imagine that they do a May 4th drop like they do sometimes for animation stuff with Maul. Unless
they do another Tales, but that would be... I was shocked this past year when they did Tales of the Underworld.
Oh, and that was crazy close.
Yes.
What was that, 2 weeks before Celebration, and then it dropped?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was after Celebration. It came out.
The announcement was like before, like a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And you think about the turnaround from like Tales of the Jedi. So Tales of the Jedi came out in the middle when Andor Season 1 was coming out. Yeah. And then they didn't do a Tales of the Empire. They didn't do Tales of the Empire or any Tales the following year, but then they did the next year. But then the turnaround for Tales of the Underworld was only a year. So I'm like, is it a thing that they plan on? And I wouldn't be surprised if they plan on doing like a Tales every year kind of going forward, unless Maul is now taking that place of that, which, this could also happen.
And I assume Tales of the Underworld, that season specifically, was being worked on immediately after, if not during Bad Batch Season 3, just because it's a little close to the nose of like the Asajj work that they did in Bad Batch Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get that same CG model for her, like that same render model for her in Tales of the Underworld. Like, I would assume it had to be pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I know that they say they're working on it, but we don't know at what stage they're working on it in for Maul Shadow Lord.
No. We also don't know, like, I'm assuming Shadow Lord's going to follow a similar episode amount structure to Bad Batch, but I also don't know.
I really hope it's like 8 or 9 episodes.
But weren't Bad Batch seasons almost like 18 episodes?
Yeah, Bad Batch episodes were really long.
Like,
especially
they were like
season 3. Wasn't season 3 the longest?
It was either season 1 or season 3. I can't remember. Season 2 might have been a little bit shorter, but then I'm like, are they doing like a Clone Wars approach where it's like, hey, it's only 12 episodes? How many? Okay, actually, let's go to Yield Disney Plus and see the amount of episodes. My guess is that Shadow Lord's going to be around like 15. That's just me being hopeful, The more, the better.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, not Rebels. Where is the Bad Batch? There it is. Please don't play on the audio. Okay. So season 1 was 16 episodes, and episode 1 was an hour and 16 minutes, which is crazy, by the way.
They were all banger first episode. Too.
It was just a movie, dude. It was just a movie. Season 2, 16 episodes, and season 3, 16 episodes.
Wow.
15 episodes. So around that 15 mark. So I'd imagine Shadow Lord, they probably won't go less than 12 episodes.
Yeah. I wonder too if for their releases they'll do that thing that animation sometimes does. Well, they'll be like 3 episode or like 2 episode premiere, and then it'll be 1 episode, 1 episode, 1 episode, 3 episodes, 1 episode, 1 episode, and like split it up that way where there's like a grouping of episodes,
right?
Each like for a random week here and there.
Yeah.
Because if it's for, like, let's say we get 12 episodes.
Mhm.
That's 3 months of episodes. That's crazy. Like, that's
Yeah,
3 months
yeah.
of an episode every week. That's a long time, especially with everything coming out next year in terms of Star Wars.
Yeah, and they usually don't like to stack stuff over. I think there was a minor stacking with like Mando season 3 and Bad Batch season 2, but it was like 1 or 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks, I think, that they stacked over each other, and that was really it. So there's minimal layover, but also that year was especially dense because they had Bad Batch season 2, Mando season 3, then Tales of the Empire, and then I think there was a little bit of a break before Ahsoka season 1. So that was a dense year for Star Wars.
Didn't Kenobi have a overlap with the show though? Tales of the Jedi.
No, Tales of the Jedi came out. Tales of the Jedi came out during Andor.
Oh, so Andor's had an overlap twice because Tales of the Underworld was out during Andor as well.
Yeah, it came out in like a September-ish mark. It was like the midway point of Andor season 1. But Andor season 1, they did that for a full 12 weeks.
Yeah.
No,
was
sorry.
Bad Batch coming out when Kenobi was coming out? Then season 2?
No, Kenobi was early 2022. Bad Batch season 1 was the year before. Was 2021. They took a full year off of Bad Batch.
Because I remember.
Here's my Huang brain. All right, Kenobi. Sorry. Okay. Here is the order. Bad Batch was in the summer of 2021. I remember because one of my friends got married and I watched the episode that came out that week that had Mount Tantus and Gregor. All right. Then later that year was Book of Boba Fett. That went into the new year. Then we didn't have anything until Kenobi. Kenobi was around May time, but there was no like animation or anything like that. So that was 2022. I was in the college program with Cole. Then we jump ahead. We didn't have anything Star Wars until the fall with Andor. Andor started in September, and then the midway point through Andor was Tales of the Jedi. That was the very first Tales show. Then Andor wrapped up. We didn't have anything else until the following year. At the very beginning of the year was Bad Batch season 2. So they went about a full year and a half without Bad Batch. Bad Batch season 2 overlapped with Mando season 3, and then Mando season 3 ended and went into Tales of the Empire. That was on May 4th. Then we didn't get anything until Ahsoka season 1 in August. Then we didn't get anything in the end of the year. And now the following year is 2024, right? And that was last year.
Acolyte
and Skeleton Crew.
Bad Batch season 3, right?
Season 3, then Acolyte, then Skeleton Crew.
I know what I'm thinking of. I knew Kenobi overlapped with something. I think Kenobi overlapped with She-Hulk. I knew there was something else on Disney Plus that I was watching at the same time.
Yeah, I think Kenobi ended and She-Hulk started in like June.
And potentially Book of Boba Fett might have been What If season 1. I know there was
What If season 1 was with Vision season 1.
Then maybe season 2 of What If?
I think what you're thinking of is Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight came out right out. I think Moon Knight. So it was Moon Knight and She-Hulk. Those came out, and this Kenobi was like in betweenish.
Because I remember like having to watch two things releasing at the same time on Disney Plus. And
so Boba Fett ended in like
my head.
I think it like ended in February. Kenobi started when Celebration that year happened.
Yeah.
So it was like April or May-ish. But then She-Hulk was June. I remember I see the poster in my mind. It says June, whatever.
Yep.
But Moon Knight. Oh, there was also Miss Marvel.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Miss Marvel, I think, was also during. I think it was Moon Knight, Miss Marvel. That year was stacked for Marvel, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
They had 3 or 4 shows, 2 special presentations, and 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah, dude.
That was crazy. So
no wonder people have superhero fatigue.
That year that was the year that I kind of stopped for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't watch. After that year, I think I stopped. I kept up with everything up until Guardians 3, and then when Secret Invasion came out, I was kind of like, I don't really care.
Yep. Yep.
But Star Wars was the priority anyway. I was like, I'm locked into Star Wars. I can, yeah. And then also, I mean, we got to talk about the image with Shadowlord because we went on a whole 20-minute tangent about the chronology of content that's come out in the past 3 years. But I mean, Shadowlord, just an image of him, doing a Maul thing, right?
I think the behind him there looked to be like a AT-AT Walker foot or some sort of foot behind him. At least there was like a big cog, which that kind of cog looks like a foot for a AT-AT Walker.
Yeah.
The ATTE potentially of the foot of one of those. But yeah, dude, I cannot. It truly like. First, I love Clone Wars Season 7, and I love Clone Wars Season 7 because of all the Ahsoka stuff and because of all the Maul stuff. And next year, we get a full show about Ahsoka and a full show about Maul. It is insane.
The best characters in Clone Wars?
Correct. Other than Cad Bane. Give me a Cad Bane show.
Hey, we had that.
Yeah, but like a Cad Bane.
No, yeah, that'd be sick. Like a full on Western with Cad Bane would be like awesome.
I want to see him going on bounties. I want to see him like actually doing stuff other than like flashback stuff, which it was really cool. The flashback stuff was really cool. That was like Cad Bane year 1 or like Cad Bane 0.
Dude,
year.
that's true.
Like,
yeah.
So it is extremely cool.
So is Book of Boba Fett Cad Bane Returns?
Yeah.
Like Cad Bane is just
Cad
Batman.
Bane yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask about All-Star Cad Bane, okay?
All-Star Cad Bane.
Not to be confused with All-Star Boba Fett, which is a great comic.
All-Star Cad Bane is where he's fighting Obi-Wan and Quinlan Vos at the same time with lightsabers.
Yeah.
And that's All-Star. That's all. There's just because insane stuff going on in All-Star Superman. But yeah, dude, I truly cannot wait for Shadowlord. It bothers me to no end that we know so little about it. But a trailer fiending for more images.
You know what's around the corner? D23.
Yeah, dude. And if they just released photos for Ezra and Maul at San Diego, which like they didn't even do a Marvel or a Star Wars panel this year.
Nope.
So like there was a Lucasfilm booth. It was really cool. Like it was like more of a museum thing.
What are the
speaking
dates?
of George? But
they talked about like we mentioned, they talked about like the pod racers and stuff going to be there, which is cool.
There's going to be old comics in the museum. Extremely cool.
Yeah, it's I can't wait to go to that. It opens 2027.
Has anybody even talked about Shadowlord?
Like other than Sam when he gets berated at cons.
Wait, what?
You said, does anybody talk about Shadowlord?
Yeah.
I said other than Sam who gets like.
This is so geeky.
Whoa, baby! We got the Sam Witwer button.
That jump scared the hell out of me, dude. If you can go back and look at that reaction, I literally go, I like jump back. We got the Sam Witwer button, baby.
This is so geeky.
What is he saying?
He's saying so geeky. That's when he's talking about the formula for Starkiller. He's like, yeah, so we got this is so geeky. So we made a formula for Starkiller.
Can we? I feel like we have to show him at Rebel Scum somehow. Hey, did y'all know that Will is hosting a Force Unleashed reunion panel at Rebel ScumCon with David Collins and Sam Witwer? Can we just like? Can we slap the button real quick?
This is so geeky.
It is geeky, Sam. Thank you.
I will. I have so much stuff that I'm bringing with me. Also, I didn't tell you this. In preparation, other than the editing for the next 2 episodes that are coming out of Determined Focus with Arkel,
yes,
and Punjaturi Press, and Tom Hodges, artist, worked for Lucasfilm for a very long time, famous for making the first concept of like the Lucasfilm Star Wars park. Which, if you've seen that map, it's insane. Pre Galaxy's Edge. But those 2 episodes are coming out. after I finish those, I will be taking this weekend to do nothing other than a full playthrough of The Force Unleashed.
Are you going to be streaming that?
I cannot because I have a Mac and I can't do it. Unless I had
Force
a way,
Unleashed 1 and 2?
if I get through Force Unleashed 1 fast enough.
It's a quick game.
Like a 7-hour gameplay, right?
It's not a long game at all. If you put it on Apprentice, you'll breeze through it.
Yeah, that's my plan. And like as I'm playing it on easy mode just so I can like take notes through it and stuff. But like got both of the game guides for 1 and 2 right too. Got those.
I've got some stuff for you to bring up. That you can have. Or not have, but like you can use. I've got the making of Force Unleashed book.
I have that as well.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah. It's like the making of behind the scenes, but it's also like the book with like all the concept art in it.
Dude, I haven't shown you this actually, and I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get this for you because I don't think you have this. I don't assume you do. I will be bringing it to Rebel Scum. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Ryan, it absolutely is permanent to the podcast. This was made potentially and allegedly 10 minutes before starting because I was like, you know what, we should finally have this. But yes, it will be permanent. The Sam Witwer button is absolutely permanent. I'm sorry, I just said this.
This is so geeky.
Dude, that's so dumb and dorky, and it is extremely geeky. But yeah, I am indeed hosting the Force Unleashed panel with Sam Witwer himself and David Collins, the voice of Proxy, as well as just the guy, the sound guy for everything for Star Wars when it comes to Star Wars.
I'm back.
Okay.
Ultimate Sith Edition.
Whoa.
Of the Force Unleashed. What's cool, so it's a steelbook. I got this for Christmas one year, and I didn't even know it existed when I got it. But what's really cool is there's all these like little special manuals, and they come with these collection cards. And I have the collection, the hearts.
Whoa.
It's like holographic, and it's cool because he voiced them. But then it gives you the guide of like all of the different collector cards.
Whoa, that's sick.
It has a forward from Hayden Blackman, but then it shows like there's Vaders, there's Starkillers, there's Palpatine, then there's the Sith Stalker. Then weirdly there's a second one. There's a Kazdan Paratus right there. This guy is the worst boss in the game. He sucks. Then we got another like really cool Sith Stalker right there.
Which we just have to assume named after Lawrence Kasdan, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it has to be. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know that as a kid, but as I was like, oh, of course. We got Maris
like
Brood.
Everybody else in the game, he explodes into Force, like just.
Yes.
Oh, he became a Force ghost, but like I guess it's a Force ghost other than just a Force explosion.
Yeah, it does it. That's why everything is over the top in that game. It's none of it. It's all meant to be that way. It's a video game. Then you've got Lord Starkiller in the Hoth gear, which is iconic.
Yeah,
and then, dude, I didn't realize this was in here. Maul is in here. She's not even in the game. And then one of the most elite looks in the game is Tatooine.
He is the boss battle with Proxy when Proxy turns into Maul.
Yeah, but it's weird because this art, he's on Tatooine and he has his probe droid. And I'm like, that's just like Phantom Menace Maul. It's beautiful artwork. Beautiful, beautiful artwork.
I was rewatching those streams, and I think it's in the second episode. They were talking about
so good.
What is there, 3? I think there's 3 of them.
Three or 4, but they're like a couple hours long. Yeah.
So good. If you haven't already, go watch those.
So keep this.
Yeah, dude, for Soul Calibur.
Mm-hmm.
But they were David and Sam were talking about
This is so geeky.
Sorry, I said his name. David and Mr. Witwer were talking about it's awesome, dude. I saw you jump that time too. That was so funny.
It takes me by surprise.
They were talking about a deleted cutscene where, because it's people think, or it's theory within the game, it's never been confirmed, that Anakin or Vader is the one who built Proxy, much like C-3PO, because it wouldn't make any sense for Proxy to like have the stuff that he does. I guess from the way they're explaining it, I'm paraphrasing a lot, but at one point Vader was going to have Proxy turn into Anakin and Starkiller be like, oh, look, another Jedi. Like, oh, I can do this. We've never seen this guy before. And you were going to fight Anakin as Starkiller. But because Proxy is a training droid, Vader would have had to program Anakin's fighting style into Proxy. So at one point you were going to have Vader versus Proxy as Anakin, like, as Vader training Proxy.
That's awesome.
Which is insane, dude. Talk about the world between worlds with Ahsoka versus Vader, or Ahsoka versus Anakin. Like, literally, Jedi Anakin versus Vader would have been insane to see.
That would have been, dude, I didn't know that. I didn't know that the implication was that I mean, I guess it makes sense that he would have built him because he's such a customized droid. But
yeah.
Speaking of Proxy, dude, these old game manuals are awesome because they're like in-universe like texts. And so it has like a whole like thing. And it's like in like a hologram where he's like, it's from Proxy. It says, Master Starkiller, at your request, I have made this training manual for you. It should contain everything you have learned as Darth Vader's secret apprentice. When you begin a mission for Lord Vader, you may want to review your past lessons, but Master, I must tell you that you have made a critical error. After creating this manual, I now know your every move and ability. This should allow me to finally fulfill my primary programming. It would be wise to continue your training and increase your powers before our next bout. In the meantime, I will be waiting for the right moment to strike. Good luck, Master. That's awesome that that's written in there. That is so cool. Like,
you totally hear it in Proxy's David Collins.
Dude,
voice.
David Collins, man, he's that guy. It's kind of crazy because it's weird. When I hear Proxy, I don't hear David Collins. Like, that's how different it is. Like, David Collins has done a couple different voices. He can do a really good Han Solo, but he did Han in like some of the video games. I actually think he did it in Battlefront. Both of the Battlefront games he did Han.
He did it in Star Wars Connect.
I think so.
No way, dude. That would be crazy. Literally, David Collins be.
You want to look it up? I'll look the Connect Star Wars credits. I'm gonna look it up right now. You're gonna get him to do it on stage? I'm just kidding.
No, but
that would be.
I have so many questions that revolve around everything else they've done that I'm just like, well, I can't use that because it's not really Force Unleashed related.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, this Chris Pratt trailer, dude. I always think about this. Okay. Let's see. Matt Wood is in it, so he's going to be there too. Did you guys know he'll be at Rebel Scum Con?
Oh yeah, you ever heard of General Grievous?
Let's see.
Dude,
Sam Witwer did the voice as Palpatine.
No way.
In that game, when he does the dance thing, that's him, bro.
Dude, Maul is literally on the literal first page of the Force Unleashed game guide.
Really?
The first page is Maul. Before you even see Starkiller, it's him.
Okay, I don't see anything about David Collins being in Star Wars Connect, but Sam is in there. That's awesome.
Dude. I love how the cast is just playable characters, the Secret Apprentice, and then the list starts of non-playable characters, and it's everybody else.
yeah. I guess they didn't want to spoil that Vader is a playable character, but, you know.
There you go. Garm Bell Iblis. There he is.
From Dark Force Rising, no less.
There he is.
You know, that was the moment I was waiting for. in Dark Force Rising, I was like, it's the Force Unleashed guy!
There he is!
It's crazy that they have that kind of connective tissue.
Dude. We should make a Garm Bell Iblis button.
That would almost never be used. It'd be used like one every 12 streams or something.
No, dude, we would find a reason to use it. People would put in chat, be like, "Hey, have you guys ever heard of Garm Bell Iblis?"
Yeah, have you ever heard Have you ever heard the tale of Garm Bell Iblis?
It's not a story. It's not a tale legit. I would tell you.
It's not like an air horn. It's just like an explosion within like a bunch of rebels and being like, "Yeah." Come on! That's stupid. Dude, I'm pumped for that. You're gonna get to do that. That's so sick.
Dude, there it is right there.
That art is so peak. That was my wallpaper on my laptop for so long.
Even though it kind of doesn't happen like that, but what are you doing?
Oh, I mean, it's concept art. Get a life, okay?
Yeah, get a life.
Have a nice life.
Job.
Let's see.
Get a job.
Also, the discs on these have like different artwork too. But yeah, so you could like, I don't know if the intention was just like you're supposed to like trade the cards around so you can get all of them. I don't really know, but it just I got mine comes with the Emperor, so
that's sick.
There's also cards in the making of book too.
Yeah, yes. The one that I have specifically has those cards. Yeah, so I'm very excited.
I had to re-glue the spine on it though, because mine was like peeling off. So I had to like
mine's a little busted up too.
Yeah, it's because it's like the renew. It's like a paper. It's not hardcover. So
yeah.
But there's some really cool artwork about like what the game was going to be at that time. Like Plagueis was going to be involved at one point.
Yeah.
Like it was originally going to be set. Like there was another concept that it was going to be like that like hundreds of years after the Skywalker saga, and like the Jedi and Sith have like become one order. Like they're like one, like they've like achieved like true balance, but like you play as like a descendant of like one of the Skywalkers, and like one of the Solos like frames you for murder or something. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, these are games that just are so bonkers off the wall. Like how they tapered it down to The Force Unleashed and The Secret Apprentice, like they were just throwing ideas out there, man.
Well, and the ideas they had initially too of like the Wookiee game,
yes,
that they pitched to George, and there was also at one point like there was going to be strictly a Maul game, like that was part of the play.
That was actually developed a little bit, like that because that was the one that George like wanted. He's like fighting Mandalorians, and Talon is in there and stuff. Like they
almost
a lot of stuff. I mean. It kind of is happening with Shadow Lord. So
what's crazy is the Underworld show being developed around like kind of that same time with George. Obviously, he was working on Clone Wars, but like knowing that The Force Unleashed and Ahsoka were being written at the exact same time is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's always the wildest thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Clone Wars animated version of Starkiller in the game, which is really cool. Like
really
that,
cool.
Like someone could take that model and make like a Clone Wars animation.
I'm sure somebody like the back page of this is for the Clone Wars 2008 video game.
Yes. Yep.
Like so sick, dude.
That's awesome.
I don't know. We should probably talk about Acolyte.
Yeah, dude. I'd love to. Yeah, so a year later after the Acolyte, let's just get the let's address the bantha in the room, okay? This show was very controversial, all right? This might I don't know if you'll agree. This was probably I'm going to be honest here, the most toxic and divided and split the fandom has ever been, or at least it's ever been in the past like recent years. It was bad. It was really bad. However, you and I have always liked this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
We never said, and this is just this is always something that I want to iterate as well. We love Star Wars. We ask everybody on this show why they love Star Wars. It is our entire MO.
Yeah. We
have never claimed that Star Wars is perfect. All right. In fact, Star Wars has never been perfect.
Nope.
That's why it's awesome. That's why it's beautiful. The Acolyte has some issues, but so does Andor. Yeah. So does Rebels. So does Revenge of the Sith. These Star Wars, their perfection is unknowable. All right, that's a line from Tron, but still, we're going to apply it there. There's a lot of Star Wars allegories in Tron. That being said, the Acolyte has some of the highest highs in all of Star Wars for me.
Yes.
And rewatching this, it just like I don't even know how to describe it. I just was like, especially when you get to the midway point and the kind of big like Vernestra keeps saying like tipping the scales, but the big scale tip happens in the show with the stranger unveiling. The sheer joy and excitement and just like I get like I think back to when episode 5 dropped. I was in California with Cole. I was there for a wedding and watching it as it came out. It came out a whole 3 hours. I mean, it didn't come out 3 hours early, but it came out at 6 p.m. as opposed to 9 p.m. because I'm on the East Coast, and so it was on the West Coast. So it was like the sun was still out, and I was like, "This is crazy." And then like the sun went down as we were watching it, because that's what's happening in the episode. That I was jumping out of my seat of like, like, dude, the fights and like oh my gosh, dude, this show means something to me, man.
It's so fun, dude. It's like, as you were saying, it is not perfect. And I do have my criticisms, but criticisms do not equal hate. And they definitely don't equal just like blank bashing for something, especially because a lot of people who are bashing it have actually never even watched it all the way through, or like they've just
or they've they've been told this is the show does this, therefore that has to be true.
Bro, the amount of times that somebody, much like I know this has happened to you as well, of like being the Star Wars guy in your like circle or like in
real life
or at work or whatever, not claiming to be the Star Wars guy, but like when you walk into a room, like people know like, oh yeah, that guy like his whole personality is Star Wars, which is, I don't care, I love it.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind. I like the Ron, I know more than you, but like when it comes to Acolyte, like there are so many people who walk up to me who are like, oh, you like Star Wars? Like, yeah. You'd be like, like, and that Acolyte thing wasn't Star Wars, right? And you're like, what? There are so many people. I had somebody, and there are people too who you're like, oh, where they're like, oh, somebody made a joke with me at work today about Fantastic Four, and somebody was like, it was about RDJ as Doom. And it was like, it's so weird to have Iron Man as Doom. And I was like, yeah, it is a little bit of a Band-Aid pull. Like, I'm sure it'll be fine. I hope it's fantastic. But I'm like, it's kind of funny because it's kind of like if Mark Hamill came back and then was Han Solo. And
right.
And I'm like, and somebody was like, yeah, well, it might have just been that. It might have been that just because of the sequels. Like somebody chimed in, and I was like,
what?
They were like, sequels are just, they might as well have just done that because the sequels are so, and I was like,
it always comes around, doesn't it?
And it wasn't the direct person I was talking to. It was fun, but like, it just, there's so many people, or like, I went back to that burger place that we went to while you were here in Colorado. Steph and I went. It was really good. I'm not going to dox myself, but hey, there's really good burgers at one general place in Colorado. But like, we went back there and somebody got Carrie Fisher as a thing from the place. And somebody was like, oh, at least I got real Star Wars. And I was like,
you just want to scream into a pillow.
I want to throw the hot dog that I was eating at them.
Yes. Yeah. That you bring up the whole like being like the resident Star Wars person in your circles. Like, yeah, that is, people know this. When it is slow at work at one of my jobs, I bring my Kindle. I read Star Wars books while I'm there. Yeah. My water bottle is sitting there on the stand. You think I like Star Wars? Like, it's obvious, right?
This is what we're drinking out of.
Yeah, they're like, all right, that's clearly they like Star Wars. And I remember someone being like, he never had seen the show, very casual Star Wars fan. He likes it, but he just was like, didn't watch it, whatever. And he was like, yeah, what was up with that chick, like, bleeding that lightsaber crystal? Like, that's not how that works. And I was like, what do you mean that's not how that works? And he was like, well, like, it's like, Darth Vader does it, and it, like, explodes. And I was like, but why doesn't Anakin, like, why doesn't it bleed when he, like, does Order 66? And I was like, well, she's touching the crystal. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's directly touching it. Like, it shows a shot of the crystal was dislodged out of the side of it, like out of the top of the emitter, and it's touching her palm. And she's holding it as she's choking Soul. And he was like, He's like, who's Soul? And I'm like, oh, the master that lied to her about everything that happened, and that she like directly chokes out.
The guy who was directly involved and the problem for all of her hate and suffering.
Yeah, which that is one thing I want to say. Go ahead and bring up before I forget. Rewatching the show, did not realize how much they set up Osha's hatred in the beginning of the show. Dude. Down to the fact of the guy, the prisoner, the guy with like the parasite in his mouth, when he's like, when Soul interrogates him at the temple, he's immediately like, there's darkness in her, blah, blah, blah. Like, talking about like, to be careful. And, like you're writing it off as like, he's insane or whatever. Maybe he's got it mixed up, especially with like May and Osha kind of being intertwined, but it's like, no, like they're talking about it a lot throughout the show, even down to Soul being like, you need to pipe down a little bit. But yeah, like it's set up from the beginning. And I was like, and all the times we've seen, I literally told the guy, I was like, listen, okay, we've seen a crystal being bled other than that moment 3 other times. We saw Darth Vader do it. We saw Dagan Gera do it. And we saw Kylo Ren do it.
Yep.
Kylo Ren, it shattered and caused an unstable crystal. Dagan Gera, he took it out. He had been seething on his hatred for years. And Darth Vader was doing, like, I was like, he did it, but it was a crystal that he had no attachment to, right? I was like, there's a line in the Acolyte where Osha's like, oh, when Soul comes here, like, he's a very powerful Jedi. He'll be able to stop you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, that's not his power. That's your power. Like, he's like, you don't, like, she's like, I'm not trained in years. And she's like, no, like, it's under the surface. Like, that's what the Jedi tell you. And it's showing that they set up from the very beginning the emotional connection that Osha and Soul have. And when you have such a raw, unfiltered, emotional connection like that, bleeding a crystal is going to be a whole lot easier. You're literally like, none of the other people, they were focusing their hatred in it, and they weren't doing a dark deed in the middle of it. Now, I'm sure if his crystal was exposed from his lightsaber in Revenge of the Sith, yeah, it would have happened. It would have been bled, but it's fully concealed in the lightsaber. So it's, like it's a cool moment, man. Like that, people say the Acolyte like will break canon or it disrespects like stuff from the EU. It doesn't. It actually never does. If you and I've gone on some links on some videos and stuff before about this, but like there it is. I mean, from Cortosis, right? Including that, the moment when he headbutts that lightsaber, I was like, we're back, dude. Yeah, I was like losing my mind, right? The fact that they're on Baldimnik, all right, that's not explicitly confirmed, but it's pretty much confirmed. I made a video about it. Like down to like, the acknowledgments of High Republic stuff, the Bearish Vow, which is from Soul's Vader run to Bleeding of Crystals. Like it is really interconnected with the lore, and it does some really unique stuff. And I think it's pure Star Wars, man. Like it's awesome. And it even down to like the set design and direction. I'm like, really oh, this just oozes Star Wars, man. I mean, Pip, come on. Pip, dude. What a cool droid idea. Like a Swiss multi-tool army knife, like droid.
It felt like a book. It felt like as fans who read a lot of Star Wars books, it felt like a Star Wars book that was turned into a show.
Yep. I can almost like see like the testament of a good Star Wars show to me, or like project, is if I can read the words on a page, because I do read a lot of the books. The same thing goes with the books. If I can read the book and I'm like seeing the visuals like so explicitly, is like really immerses me and then just shoots it up into the stratosphere. And Acolyte, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm kind of reading Darth Plagueis right now, Like I'm like, it's really cool, dude. Like I can imagine reading the pages of episode 5 and being like, what? Yeah. So I'm gonna bring up by the way, chat, hey, thanks for being here. I forgot we've not acknowledged everybody in here. I'm gonna bring up some chat stuff because I'm
dudes
clearly very passionate. Sonny, don't forget Acolyte Crystal Count. So new Acolyte. We've already had the first Acolyte spinoff book come out. I believe that was the one with Indara and Vernestra. I'm blanking on the title. Sonny, you will correct me. But Crystal Crown is a Jeki and Yord book.
Yord rise up,
dude. I kind of like Yord now. Like I kind of get Yord now. He he's just trying to do the right thing. Yeah, he falls short a little bit.
He's kind of Obi-Wan coded.
He's like, yeah, Obi-Wan, if you like if like the dial on the thing in Mando season 3 that just destroys our friend Omid Tahi's brain. It's like that, but if it was
the mind flare.
Right, exactly. It's just that. Like it's like, hey, here's Obi-Wan, but if we just and like he's like, yeah, I'm a Jedi, and he loves being a Jedi. But sometimes to his own detriment. But his heart is in the right place.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Obi-Wan, but like if Obi-Wan had stayed in his like Padawan mindset, almost.
He's like if Obi-Wan didn't have Qui-Gon as a mentor to challenge him.
Man, who would be like if Obi-Wan had Ki-Adi Mundi as a master,
as Evan Peel as a master.
Oh my god, Evan Peel had some fun with fun teaching those kids at that orphanage. Remember that?
I just think of him as Mad Eye Moody from Harry Potter.
He does. That is very astute. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna check in with the chat real quick. It is. It ain't going.
It's not going anywhere. It might get upgraded, but it's not going.
This is so geeky.
It's not going anywhere.
This is so geeky, dude. This is my friend Keenan. 1 year later, and I still love you guys. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. He keeps pushing me to get Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm trying to do, but I'm backlogged with Indiana Jones right now. Let's see. Amon is the best. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, it's a perfect casting, dude. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So
Amon is to Ezra as Rosario is to Ahsoka. Like Taylor Gray and Ashley are who I hear in my head when I think of their voices, but like Amon and Rosario, like when it comes to live action, it's them, dude.
Yeah.
And I still think like if there was something post Ahsoka and it was like them older, I wouldn't mind the character looking like Amon but being Taylor Gray's voice, or like looking like Rosario but being Ashley's voice. Like I love that there is kind of like the Ewan Alec Guinness thing where there's multiple people, or I'm not gonna hit the button again, but like Sam Witwer, Peter Serafinowicz, oh my god, Ray Park, like having all of those people to like be a culmination, like this weird character soup to create the person. Like I think that's something that makes Star Wars really cool.
Yeah. It's a lot of very good cooks in the kitchen that kind of add into like that Venn diagram. But yeah, I ranted a lot about a bunch of different things about the reception to Acolyte. I stand on business that I love the Acolyte. A year later, like how do you feel?
Flocking to you.
Yeah. Yeah, have you grown to love the show more? Do you feel about the same about it? Do you like just kind of being now kind of far removed, especially from like overall community reaction to it, but also just kind of being now that we kind of have it as a full package?
I won't lie, the Acolyte was great, but outside of actually watching the show and enjoying the show, I don't have a lot of great memories during that time because it was so divisive, especially for the wrong reasons online, that like it got to a point where like after that show was done that a lot of people know this, I didn't want, like there was a time where I took a large break in making content because I did not want, I was just like, it just really stinks. And a lot of other creators did the same thing where like they just took a break.
I mean, Cole and I, when we were doing, we were doing Mortis FM, like as the podcast form of it, we kind of stopped, and it wasn't even, I was not down on Star Wars because I was still very much enjoying Star Wars. I was doing my campaign at that time, but I was kind of exhausted. I was kind of burnt out. I was
burnt out on the community of Star Wars and the way that I was interacting with the community of Star Wars as somebody who has a platform as a Star Wars creator, of like comment sections and seeing other people and reviews and just YouTubers making dumb video essays. crapping on something when they don't it's not that they don't understand it. It's just for clickbaity stuff. Like there was so much bad created around that time for no reason that, and look, if you don't like the show, fine. But like, I just, there was so much in the way people interacted with each other that like week to week, it was like, okay, I really enjoyed the episode. Man, I really don't want to open Twitter right now. Or like, man, I really don't want to open Instagram right now. That it truly felt like before posting something on Instagram, I was fighting for my life on episodes of being like, hey, here's 5 things I really liked about the most recent episode of The Acolyte.
Yeah.
And then people being like, this is the worst. This breaks canon. This is awful. I don't understand why they do it. Disney, Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. Like it was like if you asked ChatGPT why Star Wars fans hate Star Wars, and then AI slop was posted, and then that was the mentality of the people who were talking about The Acolyte during that time, which stunk because it was a show that I really enjoyed, and getting to rewatch it during this time was a blast. I think the only thing was this show to me thrives kind of like a book, obviously, thrives the more you go back and watch and dissect it.
Yep.
Upon first watch, it's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of stuff where you're like, oh, I'm still waiting for that to be connected. Or like, it felt like there were more loose ends than there actually were a lot of times with the show.
Yeah.
That when you got to the next episode, you're like, wow, I got a lot of great stuff. But then I also have a bigger pile of stuff where I'm like, I have more questions.
Yes.
But I remember watching a review after all the Acolyte came out with from Star Wars Explained, where he's talking about, he's like, I enjoyed the show more in writing about it, in talking about it, and having to rewatch it and make content around it. Not because I'm like, okay, how am I going to support the show? But like, he's talking about having to go in and pull everything apart. And just like you were saying, of like, oh, I didn't really see that first watch through how much they were setting up Osha to be as dark as she was. Like the pieces were all there. That's how Star Wars is now. You and I and a bunch of other Star Wars fans have seen The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith and all the other Star Wars movies so many times that we are not only quoting things, but we're going, okay, you see that right there? That's why in an hour when this happens, that's how it sets that up. And that quote right there and that line, it sets up this, and that's why in the next movie, like, it's so strange to me how people didn't do that with this because of how big the MCU is, because that's kind of the fun for people with the MCU of like Easter eggs and trying to connect the dots with things. Like when it comes to Star Wars, as much as I don't think Star Wars necessarily needs it, it's fun when you get the little drops of other lore, and obviously Acolyte was full of that. But like the MCU, that's kind of part of their formula.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me watching the Acolyte, how people like there's like so many pillars of what people enjoy in other media that happen and that are present in the Acolyte foundationally to the show, that I'm like, it's so much of well, it's the name of the show. Your focus determines your reality, of people being told, hey, you should not like this. Going in, even if they're like, oh, I'm going to keep an open mind, but hearing, hey, you should not like this, don't like this, and then going to watch something, regardless of all of the people who are going to say, I have my own mentality, I can make my own decisions. Yeah. But if I brush my teeth right before a really great breakfast, it's not going to taste the same.
Yeah.
It's going to taste bad.
Yep.
If I brush my teeth and then drink orange juice, it's not going to taste like orange juice. My teeth are going to hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, I like orange juice. I obviously need to brush my teeth, but like, it's just such a weird thing of like, oh, well, I know I like orange juice. I know how orange juice tastes. Okay, but you still have the taste of toothpaste in your mouth, dude. Like, I think that's kind of how it all was with, and the marketing did not help it either with beforehand and the rollout the way everybody was with Leslie Headland and everybody, but like, dude, it's a fun show, and I think it's worth the watch if you need something to watch. It's a lot more fun than a lot of other stuff on Disney Plus in terms of what I find fun. But I think it's a blast, and it's a big swing that they took, doing something that had nothing really connected to the Skywalker saga. It was 100 years before the Phantom Menace.
Yep.
200 years, 200 years, 100 years, 100 years before the Phantom Menace, and I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
we gave us one of our favorite characters on this show of all time with the Stranger.
I left my book in the other room. I was about to say I could pull up the picture, but
oh yeah,
yeah.
But like, I truly hope that we get more from those characters at some point.
It was set up. It was 100%. You don't realize how much is set up with like Vernestra and Chimere, dude. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, the writing is like on the wall, man.
Yep.
Like, and yeah, by the end of it, you're like, wait, what? But knowing that ahead of time, you're kind of like, wait, Vernestra knows something is up, you know?
Dude, the Stranger figure Black Series immediately sold out.
Really?
Immediately, like the pre-sale
on Hasbro
immediately sold out. I saw somebody post about it on. It was up for like hours and it sold out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, it shows how many people actually like. Look, say what you will about the Acolyte, but like bringing back those characters in a different capacity, like obviously we want to see more of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, Leslie even said like the attention is for like season 2, like they were going to focus a lot more. They actually included more of him than they planned on initially, but season 2 was going to have even more emphasis on him. And I mean, yeah, he's one of my favorite villains and Star Wars characters of all time. We got to meet the guy. He's incredibly passionate. He's incredibly kind. Has one of the coolest costumes and helmets and lightsabers of all freaking time. Like, yes, dude, give me more.
So much fun. And honestly, too, like when it comes to the show, like I do think it did rub people a little bit of the wrong way, where in marketing and certain interviews they were like, that we've got enough of the Jedi. This is going to be focused on the Sith. And if you were looking at percentages, the stuff we got of the Sith and the dark side, really fun and really cool and really fun building to get that perspective. But it wasn't necessarily the focus of the show. It was really the mystery of it. So I do think that's easy criticism of like, if you were going in and be like, oh, it's a show about the Sith, and like I want to know about that, and then you watch the show and you're like, okay, like it didn't really give us that, which is fine. It seems like season 2 would have been more of what that initial pitch was.
Yeah. I definitely, and I never went going into it. I think a lot of people were like, oh, this is going to be like the Darth Bane books or like Plagueis, and knowing that there was going to be a heavy amount of Jedi in it, I was like, I don't think so, man.
It didn't make any sense.
I was like, in those books, I was like, listen, the Jedi are in it, but they're not like central figures, you know? Like, yeah, a couple Jedi show up in Plagueis, but they're very few and far between, and if they are, they're pretty quickly off screen, right?
Dog, you get the character posters before the show even comes out, and they were all Jedi except for 2 people, and one of them was like not even a bad guy until the end of it. Like,
yeah, it's like you said, it's the mystery of it, not the centrality. I do think season 2 would have been more of the focus, absolutely, because most of the Jedi, if not all of them, other than literally the only one that didn't was Vernestra and the people that didn't go to Kofar. Like, that was it.
Yep.
So it was definitely setting up for like more of that role for Osha and for Chimere or the Stranger, which, by the way,
which another thing with the whole the Sith haven't been around for a millennia. Like, dog, they're all dead. Anybody who would have been able to talk about it was dead.
people take that line that like Kiadi Mudian's like, when they say that they're like, oh, then that has to be true. Where do you think the Sith were? Do you think they just spawned out of existence? They just didn't exist, and then boop, they're back. And no, also, they've been,
like, as that conversation was going on, Darth Plagueis and Palpatine are planning like the end of the Plagueis book. Like, that's all going on at the same time.
Yeah, and I was like, that was even in Legends. So to be like, oh, you know, but the Sith aren't around at that time. Yeah, they are. That's how it works. It went all the way from the Bane line down to Plagueis, and I'm like, and whether we know if Chimere is there or not, like, it all gets covered up. And I also think it's a crucial part of Vernestra and her character of, her kind of latent Jedi Master of not wanting to get involved in politics. And like, she's covering, it's the, like the, kind of like the sins of the father thing. Like what Soul did caused what happened with May and Osha. But now we're getting the other layer of like, oh my gosh, there's another master. And like, he even says it. He's like, oh, master and pupil. There's another layering there that I don't think she wants people to know about, right? That's kind of the whole thing is like, she has a reputation to uphold. And that's like people, listen, I'm a Jedi guy. I got a Jedi shirt on right now. All right. But to say that they're all like perfect. I mean, that's why I love like Kanan, right? He can do no wrong. But the Jedi have issues, man. They're a separate entity, a giant entity of people that are like, people are going to make mistakes. They're going to mess up. They're going to get comfy.
Literally thousands of Jedi at that point. And not every single one is Obi-Wan. Not every single one is Yoda. Not every single one is Qui-Gon. Like there are so many different personalities for an entire order, thousands and thousands of like, yeah, they have stuff to live by, but like, this is a analogy that I'm going to use at face value. Not every priest is a great priest. And that's our real world. Like, yeah. Like not every grocery store clerk is a great grocery store clerk. Not every paramedic is a great paramedic personality wise. Like not every firefighter is a great firefighter personality wise. There are people who do really good stuff. And when you think about their employment, they do good stuff. But sometimes the people who wear the robes or wear the badge or have the certification might not necessarily be the best people. Mm-hmm. A la Anakin Skywalker. Like, you can do a lot of good, but Anakin still ends up blowing up a full planet. And I know Anakin didn't pull the trigger on the freaking Death Star, but
he ran. It was by his lead that he took out the entire Jedi Temple.
Like, yeah,
that's tens of thousands of people right there.
Yep.
So
the women and the children too. Like,
yep. So you have to understand it in a like that you are viewing it as they are seeing it, right? Yep. So yeah, like the Jedi they're not omniscient beings. Like, no. And some of them are gonna cover some stuff up. They're gonna cover their tracks because at this point in time with the High Republic, there's a lot of great Jedi. It is a thriving point in society. But the whole point of the show was to see the transition point of the High Republic into the Jedi of the Phantom Menace, right? Of the Republic of that time. And I think it nailed it. It nailed it, dude. Like that was the entire point. It is sowing the seeds of their own destruction, right? And whether that's from a little bit of the Jedi, like that's the whole dilemma is like, how much of it was Palpatine and how much was it the Jedi doing it to themselves? And they're like, and them not taking accountability and them not being able to be aware of their surroundings, right? And what's happening. That's the beauty of it.
It's one and the same. Palpatine took advantage of his of what he was mindful of the situation that he was in. And when he saw that ball start to roll, he made the hill a little bit steeper and pushed it a little bit faster. And that's all he did.
Yep.
They were the ball, they just kept rolling.
He just helped nudge it along.
Yep.
Right? And that's how the Sith won for so long.
Yeah.
For how they planted and they waited. And it's really cool. So the question I have for you before we kind of wrap up, because we've been talking about it we clearly like the show. And we've thought a lot about it. What are your top 5 moments of The Acolyte?
I feel like we should go back and forth on this because I feel like we're going to have a lot of the same moments.
Okay.
A moment that I really enjoy that I don't know if it's on your list, so I'm going to try and because I'm sure our number 1 is probably the same. Mm-hmm. But like I really enjoy, and I don't remember the senator's name, but when the senator is talking to Vernestra about the Jedi, towards the end,
unchecked power, and when someone comes along, who will be able to stop them,
dude? And it's Luke. But
it's Luke. Yep.
I love that moment so much, and I think this is another not necessarily criticism, but something that he was talking about in his video, Star Wars Explained, during his review of like the entire thing, was like, I wish we got to see more of that senator, dude.
Yeah.
Because like that political side of, when we think about the Phantom Menace, like there's so much politics going on, especially in the entirety of the prequels and Clone Wars. But like, I wish we got a little bit more of what that senator was doing, and like him being a bad.
I knew it was Ray and something. Ray and Cord,
yes.
Yeah.
Like I really wish that we got a little bit more of him, because he was phenomenal, dude.
Yeah. When they cast him, I thought people thought he was going to be Plagueis or something, you know, and that was like a kind of a red herring. I'm like, but yeah, that's a great moment in the show, and I have a feeling he would have been more in season 2.
Yep.
Like if they do a season 2, I think he's going to be in it more, and yeah, that's a great like stinger of like, ooh, things are not looking great right now, you know.
Yep.
And, so that is not on my top 5, but that is, I mean, yeah, I love that moment. Fantastic. So that's your 5.
That's my number 5.
My number 5 is Soul versus the Stranger, but in episode 8 on Brindok.
The finale fight.
Yes, when they're like, it's kind of like overcast and they're on the top of the mountain, and you know, like specifically the moment when Soul puts his lightsaber away and does this like almost like force repulse. Hey, shout out Force Unleashed and Sam Witwer. Hey, press it.
What?
Press
What?
it.
Who? What's his name? Sam what?
This is so geeky.
Dude, it is so geeky. Yeah.
No, there's a part where he goes, "This is so weird," and he commented on the video I posted of that, and he goes, "This is weird."
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. You have to tell him about it. Yeah, I love that.
Remember when you commented on that Instagram video 2 years ago?
He's like, no. Yeah, that I love that fight. And I also love that they know each other at that point a little bit. So like when he shows up and he's just like, we make a great team, you know, I'm like, oh, that's so like he is rage baiting Soul so hard. He literally rage baits him in episode 5, by the way.
Yeah.
When like Soul is about to kill him.
Dude.
And then he's like, come on, do it. And I'm like, oh, I love when Sith do that, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, that's my number 5.
My number 4 is from that, but I really love the realization that Vernestra has of who the stranger
sensing
is. That is so sick. That moment was like, oh, I want a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you're like, whoa!
I needed that. But and obviously everybody was thinking of like, he's got those marks on his back, which are like, people were like, oh, then the anatomy of those marks, like obviously they look like whip marks, so like her lightsaber would have been like whipping him like for a battle or something, but like who knows if that's really what it is, which would honestly, unless it was justified in some sort of a battle, like would kind of be crazy if she was like torturing him as a Padawan or something like that, just thinking about her character and how like prominent she is in the High Republic. But like that moment is that's my number 4 moment. Like, I love that.
Yeah, I think someone in our comment section commented that. They were like, it felt very like EU. It's like very like spider sense, like sensing one another, but like her getting out of the ship immediately, like, and I think he like
stop.
I think he like puts his helmet back on like immediately after. He's like, whoa, you know. I'm like, that's very good. My number 4 is Soul completely dunking on May in episode 2, where he is just skirting around her, like straight up Ip Man, like, you know, crouching tiger, hidden dragon kind of stuff. Like, you know, the part where like she like does an attack and it zoomed on her face and then it kind of quickly, like, or not quickly, like very slowly kind of pans, and he's just like right behind her and then has the knives in his hand and just drops them. I'm like,
I was gonna say, I was like, he doesn't even take out his lightsaber during that fight.
Nope. That's what's awesome about it.
Which another thing the Acolyte did really well is setting up that time period for the Jedi. Like obviously they were at fault for their own downfall, but like that the Jedi didn't need to take out their lightsabers all the time because they were not fighting other evils with lightsabers, that like there was really no reason to. And people are going to be like, well, in the Clone Wars they do all the time. Yeah, that's the point. It's come that point, they are warriors, they are not peacekeepers, which is what they kind of are supposed to be, or at least they are very close to falling away from in the time of the Acolyte. So they're going around, and the people that they are interacting with, if they do need to fight somebody, it is more in self-defense, which is that more martial arts style, which
It's
I
that whole thing of
love.
like attack me with all your strength, which Sunny making a good point. I forgot that Vernestra has these hyperspace visions. They talk about it in the show. She's like, he's like, I think his name is Mog. He's like, which I think is such a funny name, Mog.
His name is the Rizzler.
Yeah, I forget. She has like these visions in hyperspace, and that's why she's like, "Oh, I just find it unsettling." And this is very interesting that she saw a vision of him turning the dark side and tried to take him out like Luke Ben Solo, kind of, but like she went further with it, right?
I'm sure people would love that connection between the Acolyte and the Last Jedi.
Yeah. The community's favorite things: the Acolyte and Last Jedi.
The two least divisive parts of the fandom. People are going to be like, they're connected.
Hey, things we like, by the way. Just putting that out there. So that's my 4 is Soul just going full martial arts with the Force on May. It's pretty great.
My number 3 is
what is you said your 4 first, yeah.
Yes. My number 3 is the Kelnaka flashback on
when he's
fight when he's under the spell of the witches, dude. Man, that was cool to watch.
Yeah. It's really good.
Like how practical it looked too.
Yes,
with just
dude.
Like the way that it, like, obviously a Jonas or like whoever the stunt double is for Jonas in that Wookiee costume, like fighting that way, dude. That was so much fun.
They make him look so big,
Yeah.
like
he's terrifying.
Yeah, they really. Even in like his silhouette, like coming around the corner, he's almost in this like trance. Like, oh, dude.
And I really enjoyed when it comes to like the Wookiee side of things, of like he's a peaceful, like he's a farmer. All he wants to do is like do data collection and like find out certain things about like the landscape and the terrain and all of that stuff. But people are like, oh, big guy equal bad guy, like big scary dog. Like, obviously I can't cuddle with this thing or have a friendship with this thing. And then that like fear comes true for all of them.
Yes.
Of like, Kelnaka, no! Like,
yeah.
I loved the way that was turned on their head, especially from the witch's perspective of like, they understand that. So of course they're going to use him to be the scary person, other than him just being like the tank. But like, it's that trope of like the person in the group who everybody is scared with for their power is like, well, if he turns on us, we're done for.
Yeah.
He ended up turning on them. Like, it really was that thing. So it was so much fun to see.
Yeah, dude, I want more Wookiee Jedi. I'm a big Wookiee Jedi guy. So to have, Kelnaka, it's sick. My number 3 is the crystal bleeding scene.
Ooh.
I love the visual. I love that it actually is a different, like, it, because it's so, like I said earlier, so raw and organic and such an emotional moment that's happening as she is literally choking the life out of him. I like the way it's presented, and the dislodged crystal and seeing almost like the blood, like not like real blood, but like almost like blood is flowing into it, as opposed to it kind of just like turning red, and then down to where she's igniting it, it's like full. I was like, dude, that's really cool. Love that moment. It's really good. And yes, the Mad Claw thing, which we learned about in shout out Kennedy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy. Talk about it all the time. We need a button for that.
Zahn button.
Yeah, Zahn button. Yeah, I mean, as a fan of a huge fan of Charles Soule and what he has contributed to Star Wars, especially with canon content, that was a fave of mine.
My number 2, I have an honorable mention that I took out of the number 2 spot and put in the honorable mention spot, which if you don't say, I will bring up later. My number 2 is when Soul has to go after Osha on that snow planet, and all of the framing is so nostalgic and poetic for everything else in Star Wars. Like, Soul is standing and Osha is standing, just like when Ahsoka is on the run in Clone Wars. And then when Soul gets down on one knee and he's like trying to help her. It's just like Qui-Gon talking to Anakin in the Phantom
Yes.
Menace from that frame.
Mm.
Like there is so much like frame for frame where you could piece that apart and go, oh, that's from this. Oh, that's from this. Oh, that's from this. And I remember it's at my number 2 because I remember watching that part initially early on in the season. I think that might be, is that in the first episode or in the first 2 episodes?
When he saves Osha?
Yes.
Episode 1, yeah.
Yes, that's episode 1. That moment, I remember I'd be like, okay, I'm sold on the show.
Mhm.
Like it was
I remember
to
you
be able
loved
to
that,
piece like all of that together and make it so much about everything else in Star Wars. Obviously, we're Star Wars nerds. Does everything have to be an homage to other Star Wars? No, but I do like when it comments on itself and
Yeah.
pulls from other Star Wars.
That
And
was stuff that I didn't even pick up on though. Like that's cool.
yeah, it's so fun. And I remember why it's just like when what's his name says your focus determines your reality. Like
Jod,
yeah, Jod. It's fun. It pulls me out, and I'm like, oh, and I get to do that, which is always fun for Star Wars. Do I need it? But that whole sequence happened in such a subtle way that, like, and even just the snow planet looking like the Ralph McQuarrie art, like, just like all of that being a part of that sequence was so much fun, and the dialogue during that moment, dude. That's the part where I was like, okay, I'm sold on this show. Like, I cannot wait for more.
It's a great performance as well from Jung Lee Jai or whatever, or JJ. No, it's Jung Jai Lee. That's his name. Yeah. He's phenomenal in that moment. So is that your 2 or your honorable mention?
That's my number 2.
Okay. My number 2 might be a surprise, but I'm calling it Night Fight as opposed to Fight Night. And that is the episode 5 fight.
Whoa!
Because there's one moment that in my rewatch was a little bit higher, and it's pretty close in proximity, but I kind of just have to put it all in one lump thing. You could dissect it into the Jecki hole punch moment, or you could dissect to him snapping Yord's neck. You could do a bunch of that stuff, but I think overall, like, it's such a giant package of just like that fight, like bookend to bookend. So that is my number 2 on a good day. Might be my number 1, but there was one moment that it kind of is a little bit higher for me, and I'll tell you right after.
Well, I mean, that is my number 1, but specifically the Jecki versus Stranger fight, 3-hole punch.
She's got the
she
2
drops,
lightsabers.
and then you just see his face, and
Yes.
that's the reveal.
Yes.
That moment, like, obviously that whole fight sequence, episode 5 is my favorite episode of the season, but like that reveal is so much fun. And the back half of that episode too, where it's like, who he is now. So now you just have all of that, especially going into the next episode where he gets to talk, and like obviously beforehand with his mask on, like running after May, and like Soul's chasing him, and it's just this full fight of like he's fighting off 2 Jedi while trying to kill his own apprentice. Like,
yes.
It is so much fun. And then the reveal where his face drops, then oh, hello. Like,
yeah, dude. When you first see, this is my honorable mention as well. When you get to Chimere in the apothecary, and he's like, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome back, and he's just like, I'm trying to blend it. Like, he's so like nerdy and like, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I cannot believe this guy is a Sith Lord,
right?
or like a dark side user, because like the lock-in that he has is crazy, and especially like meeting Manny and knowing like he acts nothing like Chimere at all.
He doesn't act anything like any of them.
Yeah, I was like, this guy can act, bro. Like the closest like is like the true Stranger version, but even then he's kind of got this manipulation, this malice under the surface, whereas he explained it like a triangle, and that is exactly how I view it. Of like you've got the true, or you've got the fake version of him, the completely on all fronts fake, and it is all an act, right? Then you've got the masked version where he's like a horror villain almost, like he's like a slasher,
Yeah.
And then you've got like the top, which is the true unmasked version, right? Because when he has the mask on, he's kind of hamming it up a little bit, right? He's dropping. I mean, even down to like the head tilts and the slow, like one of my favorite moments, which is just aura farming to the max, is when he is like, he's got Yord on the ground, and Osha shoots him with the stun shot, and he just like flinches and just slowly turns. I'm like, I'm like, dude,
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, he is him. The way the stranger makes me feel is probably the way people felt when they first saw Darth Vader walk into the hallway in A New Hope. Wherever I was like, listen, Darth Vader is scary, but the stranger is terrifying. You know,
dude.
like it's a whole new level of just sheer terror.
If people had gotten the Rogue One hallway scene when A New Hope came out, people would have been like, it would have been the exact same thing.
Yes, 100%. And that's like the closest thing to this as well.
Yeah.
Which shout out to the stranger and to Manny Jacinto. You have the most on-screen Jedi kills. Congratulations.
You did it, dude. Fantastic.
We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe.
You're gonna be the next Sith Lord. So my number one plays right into that, and it's literally right before. It is the very, very end of episode 4. It is the reveal of it. It's the specific shot of when May is trapped in the house, and they're like, arrest, like you're under arrest, come out, we know you're in there. And Sold like just senses something, and he turns around, and it cuts to Osha, and she's staring, like she's looking at them, and she can feel it too. You know she can, and you just see this black silhouette, and it's like out of Hereditary, dude. It's like it's not even like a jump down, like an aggressive, like it's literally
slow.
It's a slow just.
Yep.
And then like for the first couple shots as well, he's like Mask of the Phantasm style, like gliding across, and I was like,
floating.
yes, and I was like, dude, I have chills right now. And then all the way down to just face to face, lightsaber, flick, explosion, cut to black. And as the sun is setting too, that moment, I'm like, it informs the next episode, but I remember like being that and I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to next week. But then you get the kind of not cold open, but like the harsh opening of episode 5 with like Osha waking up and turning, and there's like just a dead Jedi in front of her, and she hears the lightsabers going off in the background and the giant explosion marks, and it's like, it's just absolute Peakerton.
Yep. Dude, it's so good.
Yeah, I need more. I told Manny this in like because I think I'm pretty sure he found it funny. As I was like, bro, the amount of stranger edits I watched of just hell with like Playboy Cardi or something, and I'm just like, yeah, like it's the stank face, you know, of like, like it's just, I'm like, he is him, that's the goat. Yeah, which he is my goat.
It's the dude holding the AirPod, and there's the smoke coming out of it, the reaction meme.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, what are they feeding these editors, dude? I remember I was taking a train up to LA, and I was reading The Living Force, and then I like took a break because I was like, all right, I'm a little bit tired, I'm tapped out. So I just went on TikTok, and I was just like, The Stranger Acolyte episode 5 edits. And I was like,
let's go.
Oh yeah, I'm bumping it. You know, like, because it was the day or two after that, and I'm like, I'm walking through the airport, and I'm like, he's literally me. You know, just like, hey, add that to my personality board right there.
God, that's awesome. My honorable mention was, I really love this scene is Chimera the Stranger, whatever you want to call him. I think in that moment he might be the third person, but like him rebuilding the Cortosis armor.
Really cool.
I really love that, especially because of the conversation he's having with Osha in that moment of like, I really, really love that. And also like, dude, everything on that planet where he's like being like the like seductive, like the Palpatine of it all is really fun,
but like literally seductive in a way, and like and I know some people like didn't like that, but I'm like I kind of love that. Like kind of like it's a. I think he even said this, like they like wanted to embrace like the literal type of like seduction, not in like a smutty kind of way, you know, but like it is like a. I mean, bro, Manny Jacinto is a jacked, good-looking dude. You know, he's like 6'1", he's ripped, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
don't blame you. You know. Don't blame you.
Yep.
So, I love this show. I hope and trust that over time people will begin to. There's a lot of people, and hey, shout out to Eli the Jedi for the super chat. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
whoa, dude. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, great show, fellas. Love the show. Was so excited to see Yoda in Plagueis. Yeah, Yoda moment. Listen, I know people kind of clown on it, but it's a cool setup for sure. Yeah, dude, we are trying our best. So thank you. That means a lot.
We will continue talking about it, much like everybody talks about Make Solo 2. We will continue talking about it, and hopefully we get more. I would be very shocked if we don't get more of at least some of these characters. Especially the stranger, especially
yes.
Tiberius. Like,
I mean, even people who didn't love the show, they're like, "Oh, he's awesome." You know?
So
it's a great character, dude. If I don't get that Black Series, I'm going to implode. Did you pre-order it?
I did not. I didn't even have time.
Yeah,
it was gone.
I am gonna have to go hunting. I guess when it comes out. Guess I'm going to my Target. I'm doing a Stranger Watch. Maybe I'll do a video.
I will be doing that. Like, as if I see it on a peg, I'm buying it.
I might buy 2.
One out of box, one in box.
Yes. That I know I never do that, but I'm like, for that one,
it's sick.
I might. It's cool. It's cool that I didn't think they were gonna do a like a helmetless head.
A removable head, yeah.
I was shocked when they announced that.
Yeah. It's cool.
You still gotta get the helmet too.
I know.
You can pre-order on Amazon for like $80.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Comes out in September.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I'll pull it. I'll see. Double make sure.
I did not.
But I remember when I was visiting you for Fan Expo, I looked it up and I was like, oh shoot.
I did not know that.
The Stranger Acolyte helmet. It's $100 pre-order on Amazon. Comes out free delivery August 13th. That's what it says for me.
What?
So you could get it in August. It releases August 12th.
What?
You're welcome, dude. Here you guys.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Bam.
I see it. Dang, dude. Why couldn't we have met Manny after this came out?
Dude, there's always a second chance. You know? I gotta get that figure.
I will go back and see him.
Yeah, dude. Sure. Be like, hey, you remember my funny print explosion? That was
Oh
awesome.
my gosh, if we bring it up, he will definitely remember that.
He'd be like, oh my god, you guys. Yeah. I'll pull up the picture and be like, you remember this?
he 100% would.
Yeah.
Well, renew the Acolyte, bring back the Stranger.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
I don't. Go check out our new episode with Hunter at JGuy Hunter. Dropped today. It is a great episode. He is one of the coolest dudes in the community. And he's kind of in our you mentioned our next 2 episodes coming out. He's in like our kind of gauntlet of special guest episodes leading up to Rebel Scum. And don't worry, there will be more after Rebel Scum Con, but
yes,
which is coming up very, very soon. So I want to reiterate, if you want to get tickets, go ahead and get them now. And also, if you are going to be there, please don't be a stranger. And we'll see you there.
I just put the link to the Hunter
too.
episode in the chat. And
W's in the chat.
In the chat. And now what I'm going to do is put in the where did I put it? This is the link to the Instagram group.
Oh yeah. So there's a little, you know what? You should join the group on Instagram and you'll find out why you should join the group. There's something special in there.
Focus Squadron, baby.
Focus Squadron.
We appreciate you all being here. We need you. The best pilots in the galaxy and good friends.
Love it.
Yeah, and I just put the link in there too. If you join the Focus Squadron chat, and you will be at Rebel Scum Con, and potentially some other conventions that we are still going to over the next couple of months. I'll be at one literally the weekend after, like not even a week separated from Rebel Scum Con right after. But yeah, if you'll be there, we might have some free stuff for you if you're in the Instagram group, in the broadcast channel Focus Squadron, if you happen to be a part of inside of Focus Base.
Bonus points if you grow out a stash.
Yep. You don't get your free stuff unless you got a mustache.
Because even if you got a baby, slap a stash on there. All right.
Slap a stash on that babe.
Just
not even
Jack,
where a
clip that.
mustache would go, just like on its forehead.
I got some new glasses, not these, but I got some special glasses today, and I sent a picture to Will, and I was like, bro, I look like this guy, and it's just Yoda with the disguised red brick in Lego Star Wars, just with the mustache, the big nose, and the glasses. Because they're so big.
Dude.
You'll see, if you see me at Rebel ScumCon, you'll know. I will literally be the epitome of disguised red brick from Lego Star Wars.
Dude.
Make me in the if you can show a picture. You know what? We'll give you extra stickers if you recreate us in Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Someone do that, and we might post it. That'd be hilarious.
If somebody is ever in the Complete Saga and wants to build us in the lobby as minifigs, and then turn on mumble mode has to be on.
Oh, you're talking about Skywalker Saga?
Yeah, because
Skywalker Saga
like
does not have character creator.
It doesn't.
Nope.
What? I've never played it.
The last game that had character creator was The Force Awakens, and they never did it again in any of the Lego games. Yep.
Okay,
So you
be in a bad mood.
If you want to do it in the Clone Wars game, because that's, in my opinion, that's like 1B of like the best Lego game of all time. I'll take Indiana Jones. All right,
dude, Indiana Jones is so good.
Yeah, great games, great game,
so good.
All right.
All right. Well, that's it for us at Determined Focus. Thank you for watching episode 22 of Determined Focus. If you have not already, like the video, subscribe, follow Grace on Instagram, join Focus Squadron on the Instagram broadcast channel. That'll be the links in the chat right here. You have a little bit more time. It'll also be linked in the description. You can also see it pinned on my Instagram page. It's also pinned on the Determined Focus Instagram page. Also, if you're not already, go follow Determined Focus on Instagram. Please go follow that. Trying to blow those numbers up. But yeah, and we will see ya later. May the Force be with you. Your focus determines reality. Bye-bye.
Always remember.